Today, in our weekly chapter, we will be talking about the Passover of Yahweh, which is written about in Levites Exodus 11, 1 through 13, and also the 16th. There were first the 10 plagues, which are written about in the 11th chapter, 1st to 10th verse of Exodus. In the 10th and final plague starts with the same pattern as the previous 9. Moses demands that the Pharaoh lets Israel go. The Pharaoh refuses, but Yahweh comes with Moses, and that the pattern will change. This is the last plague, and when it is over, Pharaoh will release Israel. Yahweh will finally demonstrate his power is great than the divine Pharaoh himself, as he kills his firstborn offsprings along with the firstborn of neither nations. The Passover is said about in Exodus 12, 1 through 14, 24 through 27. To remember this last plague, the Israel delivered from the plague, God established the Passover feast. The Passover takes place on the 10th day of the first month of the Jewish calendar, which is the last month through year after April on our calendar. The common of the events of Israel's are two. Take the unblemished 1-year-old lamb on the 10th day, and on the 14th day they are to kill the lamb at twilight. They are to put the blood of the lamb on the doorposts of the house. Throughout the day they are to eat the lamb that has been roasted along with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They are to eat it with their shoes on their traveling clothes on. The fasting is called the Passover, for the angel of Yahweh would only pass over those homes who have placed blood on their doorposts. This was the sign that the household has slaughtered a year-old lamb as a substitute for the firstborn male in the house. Of great significance, Passover is the memorial memorization of Yahweh, the God who heard the cry of his people. If only an Israel family would show the simple act of faith, Yahweh would release them from slavery. Passover, then, is a rebirthment of an Israelite faith in the salvation of Yahweh. Death and repetition of the firstborn. 12th Exod 28 to 36, 13, 1 through 3, and 11 through 14. For those, however, who do not trust in the blood of the Passover lamb, the firstborn are killed. When the Egyptians realized that had been they, along with the Pharaoh, demands that all Israel leaves immediately. They, along with Moses, demand the Pharaoh to leave immediately. The Egyptians want them out so badly that they give them the gold and riches just to leave. In that way, Israelites plunder the Egyptians. The firstborn of Israel was not passed over without payment, however. First, the lamb must be sacrificed as a substitute. But further, God requested that all firstborn males be paid for redemption, to remember that the firstborn belonged to God. They were his to kill or deliver. For the rest of the history of Israel, the giving of the firstborn serves a memory of this night, the last supper. The night before Jesus' crucifixion, he and his disciples celebrated the Passover feast. By this time in Judaism, Passover had become declared rutely and fully of symbolism and meaning. But now Jesus is going to extend this symbolism to as his declared the new covenant. As they began eating the unleavened bread, Jesus declares, "This is my body, which is broken for you." Jesus' body was broken in his death on the cross. Therefore, no longer do we need a lamb sacrifice on the Passover, for Jesus himself is, as John the Baptist declared, the Lamb of God. As the Lamb gave his life in the place of the firstborn, now Jesus is given his life in the place of all of us. Jesus then forgave more and known as the Lamb of God. Worthy is the Lamb that was slaughtered, and recognition, power and riches and wisdom and mighty and honor, glory and blessing. Revelation 5:12. Therefore, accept the spiritual understanding of the Passover and come to Yahweh.